Today, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite breakfasts, protein pancakes. So now first, obviously, we're going to have the protein powder pancake mix right here, birthday cake flavored. It's actually not that bad, although I like the blueberry one better. We're going to have organic blueberries because I don't buy those GMO fruits that have no flavor to them. We're going to have some ground cinnamon because I add that to everything. Some pure vanilla because my girl says it makes the pancakes taste better. So this is my first attempt doing this. Usually I have her, cook these up. Butter for the pan, measuring cup for the pancakes and whatever else I'm adding in, a mixer, and the bowl. Let's see what happens. Now the box says that I could use water or replace it with milk or replace that with milk and an egg. We're just going to use water. I also have to mention this, that I'm using this for water, Aquafina. I don't buy this. I don't like this water, but my girl likes this water. And some battles just are not worth fighting. As long as it's not coming out of a tap, I'm not too picky generally. I should also note that as a man, I typically don't like to read directions on things unless it's a piece of furniture from IKEA or baking. I highly recommend following the directions on either one of those two. The finishing touches of me mixing this thing up. Looks pretty good. Got to keep the flame low. This is why every pancake attempt I've made in my history have failed. I've managed to fit 3 varying sizes of pancakes on here. Time to wait till they bubble. Oh, gotta add blueberries first. Let's add some blueberries. There we go. Get in there. There we go. Push them down a little. There we go. Get in there. Now this is a game of patience, which is why I normally ask my girl to do this, because she has a little bit more patience than I do. I think the next round, because I still got more batter, I think we're going to do a big one. See how big we can make the pancake and still be successful. Look, you can see it's already puffing up a little bit here. Got to stuff those in there. Probably should have put them in the batter beforehand. But, we live and learn, right? They're looking pretty good right now. Just waiting for these things to start bubbling a little more. This is usually the stage where I try to flip them and they're not quite ready yet. So we're trying to improve on our patience this year. I think this is a great exercise for that. Now I've made a lot of successful flips in my life, but this is right up there. A little bit of golden brown on there from the butter. There we go. This is looking good. Now the plan is to eat these things as they come off the griddle. Oh yeah. Notice how I'm using a griddle. Although you could use a pan, it just gives it some more surface area, easier to flip, get that nice even heat on them. But yeah, they're almost ready. Can't wait to try them out while I cook the other one, because we can't have wasted time. We're not wasting any time. Okay, we have made the first successful batch, but as you can see, since I added the blueberries in after mixing the batter while they were already on the skillet, they got a little crispy on the top, and it also kept the pancake itself from going all the way down flat on the pan. And then we got some sugar-free, low-calorie syrup. I mean, if you're gonna eat pancakes, and you're gonna have to use syrup. The syrup has been added. Notice that we are always using paper plates here because I'm not a big fan of doing dishes. All right, now for the result. If I'm being completely honest, they're not as good as the pancakes my girl makes. They're a little bit raw still around where the blueberries were. Might have been too much blueberries, or again, the fact I added them in after. But they're still extremely delicious and packed with protein. Okay, so attempt number 2. Pretty confident with what I've learned from the past failure. You know, a lot like life, that this one's going to be even better. So we're going to give it a few minutes, keep that patience, see what happens. The hardest part is done. I've made the flip using 2 of them, 2 spatulas at the same time. It wasn't easy. But we don't look for easy. All right, so here it is. The finished product looks pretty good. We're about to try this thing out. I just wanted to close this video out with some life lessons that I've learned from making pancakes for the first time. Well, one, they take longer than I expected. Way easier to cook some eggs within like 2 minutes. You need a lot of patience to cook pancakes, but I've also learned a lesson that although my first attempt was below average, to be honest, ultimately, I think this one is right on par. So we never want to quit after our first failed attempt. Could be lying. We're going to find out right now. I don't know. Much better. Much better. It's cooked pretty evenly now. Guys, get a little view of that. And this thing's got to be like 3/4 of an inch thick. This is a massive pancake. I mean, filled up the whole plate. But the plan overall was very successful. Ate them as they were cooked. Learned a lesson. Now I know how to make pancakes. Still going to ask my girl if she could do it. Another thing, I know some people are probably thinking, how's this guy home at, I don't know, what time is it, like 10:30 in the morning in California? On what day is it? Thursday, right? Because I've taken all these steps in my life to realize what I want, what I absolutely don't want, and then take action to get it. I'll tell you what I definitely don't want anymore. Driving to work an hour each way every day. Going to do some shit that I don't want to do. That's why I've made the decision and I've made these changes to be able to work from home. I have faith in my investments. I'll get to work in a little bit, answering some emails. But the morning I always dedicate to myself. That way I start the day off right. I'm not miserable throughout the whole day. Get home and just have an hour or so to myself. And the other thing is, oh, I know the hustle culture. You're wasting time cooking food. Hey, that's great. If that's the life you want to live, that's great. Me, I cook food as a natural stress reliever. Cooking is something that I take the time to do and just breathe and say, I'm going to cook myself a good meal because I deserve this. Yeah, of course, I can go get food. I can have food delivered. But one, I ain't trying to waste money like that. I'll go order or have it delivered to my house for an extra $15 or take the time to go get it. It probably took me less time to make it by myself than it would have to go get it and come back. So these are just some things that I've thought about. I spent a lot of time and I realized, you know what, this is something like this is worth it for me. I can spare the half hour that it took me to do this. That's healthy, okay? That nonstop, wasted 30 minutes we could be working, that's great. If that's what you're about, that's great. That's not how I want to live.